Hi, this is Ted Wetzel. We're here to talk about Is America Broken? And Secret 3 in particular, which is we dwell on the differences between us. We're here at someone's private library, actually, and we chose that for a reason. It's an example that these are all opinions behind us, Someone wrote these. And if you wander into a research library one day, you'll find rows and rows and rows of these. So it's not unusual that we would have differences. But it is unusual, actually I would say it's human, that we dwell on the differences. Before we dive into our differences, though, let's take some time to look at the things that we agree on, which are many. So, the things that we have in common, thanks to the folks at thechisel.com. First, we desire to contribute to our community, our family, and our workplace. We have concern for our fellow Americans. We feel a personal accountability. We want every American to understand that having rights means having civic responsibility to maintain democracy. We have an optimism that we, the people, can still direct the course of our nation. We want Americans to have strong knowledge, appreciation, and respect for U.S. history. We want Americans to engage in constructive civil discourse. We want to love our jobs, have a steady living wage, be treated equally at work regardless of identity. We want a simple tax code and expect to pay our fair share of taxes. We want to be safe and protected, police and military. We want fair elections without undue influence from special interests. We want the protected right to vote. We want Congress functioning on a bipartisan level, putting we the people above party and politics. That's a lot to agree on. There's a few more. These next few have a but, though. We want consumer protections, safe products, transparent pricing. But we don't necessarily agree on whether the government should tell us which is best. There's growing recognition of a need for mental healthiness, but not necessarily how to provide for that. We want good roads, but we have less agreement about public transportation. We largely agree on our obligation to help others, but we do not agree on the balance of helping at home versus helping abroad. Again, that's a lot to agree on. I hope you're surprised. What some people's reaction is that, oh man, I thought we agreed on nothing. And I guess maybe the glass is half full after all. So that is one of the messages that we would love to get across to every American, is that let's start with the glass half full. From like a view of 30,000 feet, things are actually in pretty good agreement. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, we the people. There's not a lot of argument about those. And there's actually not a lot of argument about balancing things. I mean, we may fight for government or we may fight for business, but we know that when business gets too big and powerful, things are out of balance. When government gets too big and powerful, things are out of balance. We also know that traditions are good, as long as traditions include our ability to explore. After all, we do have a tradition of exploring as Americans. So again, at 30,000 feet, we don't have a lot of disagreement. But we don't live at 30,000 feet. We live with our boots on the ground. And so when we bring it down to the road, we start to have disagreement. The same people, thechisel.com, also then were able to record the things that we tend to disagree about. So I'm going to just read those to you too. Guns, no surprise. Climate and the environment, no surprise. Healthcare, national sovereignty, undocumented immigrants. And then as we went through the process of interviewing 250 people for the book, Is America Broken?, we came up with more. The differences between what people consider economic, racial, or cultural disparities. Are we founded on Christian values or on values? Is there enough to share? Is there abundance or is there scarcity? Do we need competition to fight for those scarce resources, or do we need cooperation? You're starting to guess probably already that it's usually not a black and white choice. The thing with conflict is most of our reaction when getting in conflict is to say, oh crap. And we've covered in prior secrets, and it will come up again because it's one of our things that we keep tripping over is our lack of conflict skills. One of our hopes is that over time we learn that through conflict we build relationships, we build understanding, we understand each other better, and we bring these two together and not separate them. We can start to learn about conflict. We start to become confident about how to handle conflict, and then we really have no reason to check out. It's our abnormal focus on problems that we just tend to just keep dividing and one wedge after another dividing us. Doesn't have to be that way. But we're not quite there yet. And in American culture, we're missing the leadership examples in a large way. Fortunately, there are some leaders who demonstrate how to deal with conflict in very constructive and growth-oriented ways. So why don't differences bring out the best in us, or as Abraham Lincoln called, the better angels in us? It's really not modeled often enough in American culture. It's also now not part of our mainstream education process. Fortunately, there are education systems that do have this as part of their curriculum, and the kids really benefit from that. And of course, as they become adults, we all benefit from that. Perhaps last is just our basic human nature. Again, we have this natural ability to either flee or fight or freeze. Our other natural sort of human nature is that we want to be right rather than being curious. Now, again, that can be a trained sort of thing, and it's part of our culture to want to be right rather than to be curious. We tend as humans to also have this black and white thinking and disregard for a compromise in the middle with the gray. We call that binary thinking. The last thing to mention right now about our human nature is that we oddly find it entertaining. Now, that's kind of a healthy thing when it comes to sports, because we figure in sports it's the polishing of each other in the competition of things. If I'm honest with myself about watching national news, I wonder, well, what's so-and-so up to? Or a presidential debate, right? Who's going to zing the other person? How many shows have guns or violence in them? How much of reality TV is there to entertain us? And we're looking for the train wreck or the meltdown. One way to think about far left and far right is they are into systemic polarization. And this is what the media likes to talk about because it's rather sensational. Where's the train wreck? Where's the meltdown going to come? Where's the zinger going to come? So again, as we'll see in secret number 4 with our divided politics, we have a substantial number of people that we would call on the far left. We have a substantial number of people that we call on the far right. And they do not see any other way than to stay polarized and to go for their win or their win. And because this is so newsworthy or entertaining worthy, we might say, rather than actually newsworthy, this is where the media focuses on the substantial group to the left, substantial group to the right. What's totally interesting and wonderful is that in the middle is a much more substantial group that's willing to compromise, work together, take what's good from this and what's good from that, and you get the idea. Okay, so you're probably feeling like crap, like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of this? So just a quick reminder, we are in secret number 3. By the time we get through secret number 4, we will have dug to the depths of this problem. And then from secret 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we're going to find our way out of this. And we hope that you are satisfied with the plan, and we hope that you would come join along. The question I'd like to end on is, are you willing to fight to understand We the People 2.0 and how to continue the American experiment?